I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, nor known to life, have withstood pain, create many weapons. Yet those hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited blade works.
As we finally start our game proper, we regain consciousness in a burning field. Don't worry, this will make sense very shortly. Everything and everyone we've ever known has been burned beyond the point of recognition, completely and utterly destroyed. The fact that we are not the same is only because of luck alone. Even though we are but a small child, even we understand that we have no chance. Despite wanting to continue on for everyone that has lost their life to this, we understand that we have no real chance at survival, and we fall back into unconsciousness. That was 10 years ago. I figure that's the field from before. After that, I was miraculously saved. Oh shit, really? My body survived. But I think all the other things about me burned up and were reduced to ashes. If you take away a child's parents, home, and all such things, there's nothing left for him. Oh, fuck. Oh, no! When he's saying, oh. That's why there's only my body. I think it's a simple story. In other words, in order to let my body live, my heart died. Ah! In case it is not clear to you yet, we are reliving the aftermath of the last Holy Grail War from the perspective of someone who survived it. Not a participant, but a innocent bystander caught in the crossfire. This particular incident was alluded to by Rin earlier during the prologue. This flashback is not over yet, as we wake up in the hospital, still 10 years in the past, and are approached by a stranger. This stranger offers to adopt us, despite not being a relative, despite apparently not really knowing us. Despite this claim of not knowing us, he does in fact know our name is Shiro. This man is Amiya Kiritsugu, and he also identifies himself as a sorcerer. Us being freshly orphaned and impressed by this man's claim of sorcery, have no choice but to accept this man's gracious offer to be our father. Just like that, we have become Amiya Shiro. To fill in some of the other gaps in between the 10 years about our relationship with our adopted father, he started training us in magic 8 years ago because of our pleading for him to do so. He would often take trips out of town and would be gone for what could be up to half a year. And also, finally, he unfortunately is also deceased. January 31st, day one. Wait, what do I mean day one? Wait, we're going back in time. Yes, let us forget about swords and spears for a bit. It appears we will be entering our everyday school life once again. This time, under Amiya's perspective. For the third time this episode, we regain consciousness, awoken by... Oh, hey, Sakura. We've been awoken by Sakura in our own shed. We apparently fell asleep here last night, working hard on whatever. And Sakura apparently often has to wake us up here. A summary of the information shared here would be that Sakura is our underclassman. We apparently love fixing junk. And there's apparently another person named Fujini who is involved in our life and is the other person who would normally wake us up. We are socially awkward with Sakura for a bit until she decides she's going to leave and go make breakfast for us while we get ready. We get a brief explanation of our living situation. Apparently we live alone and have a Yakuza boss who helps us with our taxes, which is suspicious but probably irrelevant. Our adoptive father died 5 years ago and apparently didn't have any other relatives. Him dying 5 years ago, combined with the fact that he would leave for months on end, Kinda implies we didn't really spend a lot of time with the guy in the long scheme of things. Despite that, we are doing everything we can to become a magic user just like our adopted father. But with only 3 off and on years of proper training, and now 5 years of self-training, we haven't really made a ton of progress. Or as Emiya would put it, we haven't even made it to the starting line. No, I guess it won't do any good to rush. For now, I have to do what I can. Well then. Right now, I should... Oh! Choices! Wait, you can't do this to me! Oh baby, here it is! The choices, the thing that makes the visual novel a visual novel. The thing that makes it worth playing, baby! Now that we have been freed by Rin's terrible decision making, we get to make the choices ourselves. And I'm gonna talk you through each one, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna let you see the psyche behind this. Watch the master work. Now, our options are to go help Sakura cook or go finish our morning routine. And I'll be honest with you guys, this is an easy one. We gotta go hang out with Sakura, go get to know her better. I mean, who gives a fuck about a morning routine? We gotta build these relationships. We gotta get our options open. But you know, let's save, just to be safe. When we get there, unfortunately, Sakura is almost already done. And she does everything she can to try to make sure she can do as much work as possible. She's really into this housewife role. Emiya and Sakura do that awkward flirting, not flirting thing they do in anime, where they say something that can kind of be misconstrued as flirting, and then the other character overreacts to it. Like, oh, what would other so-and-sos think if they heard you say that? They would get the wrong idea. It's whatever. But here's the thing. Mia's got a huge crush on Sakura. Yeah, he's got a bad case of the CGs. You know, once you start seeing unique art of a girl, oh, she's got you hooked. But Emiya is not happy about this fact for 3 reasons. 1, Sakura is his underclassman, so finds it a little inappropriate. 2, Sakura is his friend's sister. Yes, his friend. We'll deal with that when it comes up. And 3, his inner monologue is a little creepy, and frankly, I agree with him on this point. Her silky hair and smooth skin catch my eye. How can I put this? It's troubling. She must be maturing, as she seems really feminine these days. Creepy. Apparently, Sakura started cooking for Emiya starting about 1.5 years ago, when he had injured himself and started coming over as a favor, as a relative of his friend. She originally was only going to do this until he fully healed, but for some reason, she just never stopped. Gee. We are joined for breakfast by our teacher. You know, Emiya, your home life is very odd. Well, Fujimura Sensei here is the Fuji-ni we were talking about earlier, and apparently she is constantly acting like a fucking child. Case in point here, her switching out our soy sauce with oyster sauce. This childish behavior despite the fact that she is turning 25 this year. You know, coincidentally, I am also turning 25 this year. Anyway, Fujimura was an acquaintance of our father, who would stop by every once in a while, but after our father died, her visits became more frequent, to the point that she now pretty much eats every meal in the Emiya household. Emiya basically considers her a dependent at this point, but deep down he believes that the only reason he was able to survive after his father's death was because of her influence. Other information shared with us in this scene is that despite being residents of our household basically, Sakura and Fujimura do not know about Emiya's foray into magic. Also, we find out about a bunch of people passing out in the neighboring town due to what the government is calling a gas leak.
That's probably not a gas leak. It's probably that Soul Eater thing. Definitely some magical bullshit.
With all of this settled, the 3 of us head to school, noting all the landmarks along the way. I have already forgotten all of them. When we arrive at school, we continue our awkward, not anime flirting with Sakura, as she asks us if we want to go to the dojo with her. We decline, of course, because A, of course we can't read any of these signs, and B, that would cause a time paradox because we weren't there when Rin was there. Remember, during the prologue, Rin, hi Sakura, bye Sakura, it was a whole thing. Come on, pay attention. We meet up with Issei, who apparently had asked us to meet with him in order to help him fix some broken shit around the school. Apparently Issei is a friend of ours, despite the stick up his ass, but talking to him from outside of Rin's perspective doesn't seem like that bad of a guy. We shoot the shit with Issei about the school budget and other nonsense while we work on this electrical heater. Nothing really too interesting happens. Not until we ask Issei to leave the room. We'll be done in a couple minutes. Just wait for us outside. Now, I'm not 100% sure of what happens here, but it appears to be that Amiya has the ability to analyze an object 100% to see what's broken and what's wrong with it. Now, the game seems to imply this is not a magical ability and it's just something he can do. Now, if you ask me, shit sounds like magic, but apparently Amiya's father did not find this to be a useful ability. But frankly, if our dad was so smart, he wouldn't be dead. We use our ability on the electrical heater and figure out which wires need to be replaced. We head back into the hallway. There we find, hey! It's a girl! Hello, Rin! Oh! Hey! Oh! Hey! We run into Sakurin on the other side of that prologue conversation. Well, conversation is a bit of an exaggeration of what this interaction is, but still. Amiya's thoughts about Rin are far less cryptic than the other way around, as he makes it pretty clear that this is another girl that he has a crush on, and apparently so does almost every other boy in the school, because, of course. This interaction is still not very important, but it is funny to know that Amiya is completely oblivious to how odd he is in this interaction from Rin's perspective. We go and finish up more repairs, and then head out with Issei back to class, where we are confronted by Shinji Mato, and I'll just let my pat self deal with this.
朝から騒がしいね、エミヤ。部活を辞めてから何をしてるかと思えば、竜道の太鼓持ち？僕には関係ないけどさ、うちの評判を落とすようなことはしないでよね。君、なんていうか、節操ないからさ。
He immediately sucks again. Go away. He sucks. Why does he suck so much? Why do you consider this man your friend? Yeah, fuck Shinji. In fact, double fuck Shinji, because apparently, according to Issei, he's also the reason we got kicked out of the archery club. Despite all of this, Amiya continues to be the ultimate doormat and keeps referring to Shinji as his friend, and that people just don't really understand his personality. It's bullshit. Whatever, homeroom's about to start with Fujimura sensei, but a homeroom teacher usually would come 5 minutes early, but our homeroom teacher isn't like that. For class 2C, homeroom starts 1 minute after the bell rings. Right when we hear. And Fujini runs into the classroom. Fujini falls over with a terrible sound. Wait, what? What are we doing? The classroom is filled with silence in contrast to the clamor from a second ago. A sudden change of atmosphere. Just as you would expect from Fujini. Her nickname of Human Jet Coaster isn't just for show. That really was a bad hit. Fujini is still on the ground, having hit her head on the platform. You can't see her expression with her head facing on the ground, so it gives you a bad mental image.
おい、前の席のやつ、先生。
Front row is getting noisy. As we're in the middle row, we can't tell what sort of state Fujini is in. We can't tell, so we stand up to look.
ちょっと先生動いてないぞ。気絶してんじゃないのか？
Someone asks. So the problem would be how to get her to the nurse's office. Everyone here is a warrior who has been with Fujini for the past year. They probably want to get out of the habit of taking their teacher to the nurse's office.
藤村先生、大丈夫ですか？
A brave female student calls out to her. Fujini doesn't even twitch. A sense of worry runs through the room.
まずいって今の転び方。こう頭から直角に教壇に突っ込んだじゃないか。
Shit, she's dead.
おい、お前目の前なんだから起こしてやれよ。嫌だよ俺。もし死んでたら殺されかねねえ。
でも、だからってほっといたら後が怖いと思うし。
Oh, this is getting ridiculous.
でも誰も近づきたくないと。
仕方ねえな。こうなったらあれしかないか。
うん。あれだね。
That. All our hearts become one. Well, not Shinji and I, because we're too scared.
せーの。
Even though everyone said it at the same time, it's only as loud as a whisper. The tiger part is especially quiet. But still, a twitch. The silent Fujini reacts.
動いた。効き目ありだぞみんな。
Whoa.
よし続けろ。ガコロートンの刑じゃ。
Everyone must be stressed from the impending exams. Even though they shouldn't, they repeat Fujini's nickname while they're waving their arms.
起きろタイガー。朝だぞ。
先生、起きないとタイガーです。
負けるなタイガー。立ち上がれタイガー。
よし起きろ先生。それでこそタイガーだぜ。
タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー。
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I think I enjoyed it. Anyway, with that settled, I guess, school proper starts and promptly ends. After class, Issei asks us if we have time to do more repairs. We kind of do, but our job apparently asked us to come in if we were available, which means we have two choices. Alright folks, so here's the thought process. As much as I like Issei, or am neutral towards him, I don't really see too much value in hanging out with him on this, and I think he'll understand. But I want to see what the characters at work are like. I want to see, get to know people, meet some new characters. I want to open new horizons into this game. Plus, we need to get that cash money, baby! And it turns out I'm half right and half wrong, as Issei does take this very well. But But the characters at work are basically non-existent. Neither of them have sprites, so I'm not even really going to bother summing up this scenario. All it really is to show how selfless Issei is. We get 30,000 yen, or 300 American dollars for you filthy gaijin. But I actually don't think money is going to be a resource we'll be worrying about too much here. It appears I may have made a blunder. We head home late after work and find it odd that there's no one really around. That is until we remember apparently there had been a recent murder in the area, and so people are a little afraid to come out. As we are thinking about this, we are suddenly accosted by that girl from the opening.
早く呼び出さないと死んじゃうよ、お兄ちゃん。
Whoa, easy with that Oni-chan shit. This is dangerous territory. After this brief interaction with this ominous lolly, we finally arrive home. We enjoy dinner with Fujimura and Sakura and also indulge in the usual banter. And Amiya continues to have thoughts that I find concerning. She's talking about things from so long ago. It's all true, so I don't interrupt. Anyway, becoming a superhero is a goal I must stray from even now. I must not... Wait! Anyways, becoming a superhero is a goal I must not stray from even now. Ignoring Amiya's continually suspicious thoughts. After dinner, we have to make a decision of what we're gonna do next. Okay, kitty, so here are our options. We can either take Sakura home, hang out with Fujimura, or we can rest. Alright, well, first off, we're not resting. It's not fucking happening. It's a clear mistake. And honestly, there's only so much Fujimura I can handle in a day. So we're gonna walk Sakura home. Besides, we already know there's a nefarious figure hanging out there. She might need our protection. This, unfortunately, also does not go as planned. Because you see, Sakura does not want Shinji to see us walk her home. Because apparently, Shinji does not approve of Sakura coming to our house. Because once again, Shinji is the goddamn worst. It's not all bad, because at least Fujimura agrees to walk Sakura home. And Fujimura is a badass. No. It's a mistake to call Fujini a girl. For starters, she doesn't head the archery club for nothing. Her 5th Dan kendo skills are dangerous in many ways.
藤根なら大丈夫か。時間が出ても撃退できるだろうし。
Molesters? So at the very least, Sakura will be safe from that child molester. I mean, that molester who is a child. Not a, With the ladies gone, we decide to go back to our shed to once again practice our magic. There is a lot of exposition here. The quick and dirty summary of our practice is that apparently the only magic Amiya can do is to try to strengthen objects. Normally there are no lines in a human body to allow the passage of magical energy. To artificially change my body is to create such a line. I need enough connection to unify my whole body and every nerve within it. Magic is a battle with yourself. For instance, at this very moment, I am inserting a burning steel rod into my backbone. It's a metaphor, I assume. This metal rod is the only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. When I insert this deep into my body and connect it to the other nerves, I can finally become a magus. This is not a metaphor! That Amiya's focus is so bad that he almost kills himself trying to do this. I guess Kiritsugu didn't want me to become a magus. I don't care about that. I don't admire a magus. I admire Kiritsugu. If I can become like Kiritsugu, be there for someone like on that red day, that will be... I'm thinking needlessly. I feel the iron rod in my backbone slide into place. If I lose control of my breathing now, it will be a fatal mistake. The artificial magical circuit will eat away my body and destroy it. If that happens, I'll die. I would be only an amateur failing such an elementary step. Grind my teeth and resume the connection. After a battle like walking on needles, the iron rod finally arrives deep within me and fuses with my body. This process took me an hour. After that much time, I'm finally able to make one artificial circuit. One circuit that produces magical energy.
For those of you keeping track, we've gone from spending night 1 fucking up magic to spending still night 1.
I wiped the sweat off my brow. Now that I think about it, I realize my whole body is sweating like I've been drenched in a bucket of water. But I'm lucky it just ended like this. That was really bad. If I had taken a second longer to recover myself, I would have probably destroyed most of my body.
Fucking up magic. This is going to be a long ride.